underway. From inside the 10, here he comes. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. They'll run the RPO and throw it right. They make the stop, not a whole lot of ground picked up there, and they'll have work to do to get the first down. They're dealing with a second and long. Looking for a man. It's Pavia. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. Third down coming. Trying to pick up a first down. On third and long, trying to have a big completion here. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down.
Third and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, fourth down.
Backing up their pregame words. Their first drive of the game, fourth down in their own end, and they're going for it. Here comes the heat. And they got him. A sack denies the try to convert on fourth down.
That's a great job there by the defense here early in this game, getting a huge stop, and they've got an opportunity to make the opponent pay. Offense taking over now in great field position. Let's see what they can do here from a play calling standpoint to try to put some points on the board.
He wrestles him down at the 3 after the grab. It'll be first and goal.
Yeah, and I love that the QB understood, I'm going to put some stank on this. I'm going to throw it as hard as I can quickly, right when he's breaking out of that curl. Nice job getting it to him quick so he could get a first down.
Grinding and churning close to the goal line, but he'll be stopped inches short. Second and goal for this offense. Quarterback sneak wedging himself into the line. The sneak scores it.
It's just so nice to have a signal caller who can make plays through the air and make plays with his feet like this. Runs in for the touchdown. The defense knows I have to account for him every play. That's my quarterback.
And the extra point makes it 7-0. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And they finish the deal with the quarterback sneak. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. Probably needed to pick up an extra block or two, but as it is, he'll be stopped at the 28. Let's see if they can put together a drive starting from their own 28. The give to the left side. He's got a yard out to the 30-yard line.
You definitely want to commit to the run game. You want to establish the run game. You want the defense to honor it. But if it doesn't work a little later down the road, you might think about airing that puppy out.
He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, I think the running back kind of went rogue on that last running play. I'm not sure it was designed to go that direction. He tried to make it happen on his own, and unfortunately ended up losing yards.
Back to throw, it's Pavia. Takes his shot. He's got it. Turns it on in midfield. Sprinting away. And they pick up a better than 30 yards on that completion before the defense brings him down. BC back to work after picking up the first down. They'll send the back in motion. Give to the running back. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
And just a great job by the defense being stout, right? That's your job. Be stout up front, stuff in the run play, make them get in more passing situations, but do not let them run the football. That's 101. Stop the run first.
A strike downfield. Touchdown, Boston College! Hauled that baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score. Let's see, he can block, he can catch, he can run. Yeah, let's just forget about the blocking for now. The catching, the running, the scoring is dangerous.
And they do the dirty work, but this is what they would prefer to do. These guys want to catch touchdown passes. Most of these guys were wide receivers in high school, and they show you why. They'll go up, get that football, make plays for the quarterback.
All tied up and just about set to kick it away. On the move from inside his own 20. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. Opening play of this drive will come from their own 23. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Snagged in the middle, it's Moore. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36. The offense lining up for a first down play. Wants to go up top on first down. Fires to the big fella. Just a quick rhythm throw there and really good use of the tight end.
Yeah, good use of the big fella. I mean, go through your progressions real quick. You can't find anything. Get the easy gain. Don't take a shot down the field all the time. Take those shots later, but take those easy, wide-open opportunities to get some positive chunks.
He wants to change this route. They'll try the running game off the right tackle. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
And it's a great play by the defensive end. The most athletic players on the field play defensive end. Yes, you heard me, Jess, Reese. Exactly what I said. Great get off. Great job getting in the backfield, making the play.
From the gun on third down. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up.
It's been a tale of two drives for this defense early on, right? They came out starting really slow. Allowed a touchdown in the opening drive, but they're finally settling in here on this one. Obviously, it wasn't perfect. They did.
Big tight end makes the grab. First down, still on his feet. They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49. After picking up a couple of first downs already on this drive, they'll snap it from close to midfield. They'll keep it on the ground to the right. And after the tackle, we are headed to the end of the first quarter. First play of the period will be a second down. Looking to fire. Unloads to the wideout. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Zone equals eyes. When I say that, DBs, linebackers, all covering the middle of the field. So many guys over the middle of the field trying to take away the easy stuff, but reading the quarterback's eyes the whole time. Whenever he breaks to throw that football and that hand separates from the ball, I'm breaking on it. You can tell they had a beat on it. Nice cut, nice instincts. Give me that INT.
The Golden Eagles now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Makes the grab. It's a seam wide open. Good, solid pickup there. Now they can start to smell it with a first down at the 31. New set of downs after the completion. Looking to throw, it's Pavia. Working that left side now.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job increasing. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly, and that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm back there.
Finds a man on the right. He's brought down, but he's got him inside the 10. First and goal from the 8. precision, execution, and timing to pick up the first down on the out route.
I think you're spot on. Those out routes, man, it's got to be about timing. You got to throw that football before he breaks. Nice job seeing it. Short yard situation, throwing the ball on the money so the receiver can get upfield and get the first down.
Boston College will try to get it in on a first and goal. Looking for the end zone. Touchdown, Boston College. They wanted to finish, and that they did on that possession. PAT unit on the field. And the PAT gives them a 14-7 lead. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they finish things off with an 8-yard toss for the score. So after getting into the end zone on that last drive, they're set to kick it away. Looking for an alley from inside his own 20. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Looking to throw on first down. That's caught. It's Udo. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. They were able to make the completion, but he had to pick his way for just a little bit. Needed a little more help to spring him for some yardage.
Yeah, if you're going to have success when you throw it outside like that, you're going to need some more blocking and better blocking downfield. Give the defense credit, though. They were able to rally and made a tackle.
Ernie on the Jets. And the big gain, and they've got it on the 46.
This quarterback, man, looks like he's playing angry right now. He did not like that interception he threw the last time out on the field. You could see on the sidelines, guys. He could not wait to get back out there, and that time it was like he was running mad. I don't even know if he really wanted to throw that ball. He just wanted to take off, scramble, go get the first down.
Really short gain on that one. Defense all over it. Here comes the offense on second down. Wants to go up top. Fears the pressure. And he gets it just beyond the line of scrimmage before he gets down.
Well, it's no wonder this quarterback is getting more and more confident. Not necessarily throwing it, but I think running it. We saw that earlier in this drive, too. On that last play, he's thinking to himself, man, it's been working for me so far. Every time I just tuck it, take off scrambling, something good seems to happen. So that's not going to stop. And I think moving forward, this defense has got to expect him to scramble more often.
The Crimson Tide rolled to that last first down on the ground. Let's see if they go right back to the run. Looking downfield on first down. Grabbed over the middle. It's Williams. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down. The Crimson Tide snaps it from the red zone. They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. Pocket breaking down. He's going to be able to pick up a few yards before the slide.
Hey, listen, it's important at that position to be able to be good off schedule. Everything's easy when it's on time. You can get the ball out. But when things break down, they get off schedule. You've got to have a guy back there that can make the right decisions. He did exactly that.
Leaves it with the running back. Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. And now a chance to pull even first and goal as we get late in the first half. Here's the snap, looking to throw. Looking to get it in. That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening. Now it's second and goal. Looking to go up top, and time's running out in the half. He's got it down to the 1-yard line, right on the doorstep of Pater. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout call.
And we've seen this several times now. Like, he is more than willing to take off and make plays. And you can tell the defense is starting to adjust a little bit. They see it, they know it's a pass, but they had eyeballs on him. And as soon as he took off, they ran to him, and they made sure they got him on the ground.
Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. The offense didn't even glance to the sidelines. They'll stay out there and go. Sneaks into the end zone.
That is exactly how you want to end halves. Put a drive together, score the touchdown, a chance to tie this up, and take all the momentum into halftime.
And they add the extra point to finish the drive. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive. And it was finished off with the quarterback sneak. So they got the touchdown, now going to put it in the hands of their defense to finish off this half. Takes it inside the 25, and he'll bring it back. Nice return there, and he'll be dragged down at the 34. This drive will get underway from just inside the 35 at their own 34. Looking to throw, it's Pavia. All kinds of time before he fires right. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. To the air on first down. Oh, he loves to fire downfield. Touchdown, Eagles! They went for the big play, and boy, did it ever pay off.
This is a running back who is versatile, and his catching ability really helps this offense out vertically down the field. And you saw it on that play on the wheel route. That wasn't just a screen or a swing. They got him faking going to the flat, turning up the sideline for a touchdown.
And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Nice job to make the fair catch at the 16. Make sure that ball didn't bounce into the coffin corner. Just enough time for one final play in this half. Looking to throw on first down. He spins that thing down the middle. The pass falls incomplete, and that's how we'll finish this half. And the Golden Eagles will kick it away first, and we'll start the second half. Looking for daylight from inside his 20. He's brought down after a good return, gets it out to the 31. Opening snap of this drive comes from the 31-yard line. Wants to throw on first down. Got it in the middle, it's Williams. Great pickup as they'll keep this drive moving, and they've got it at the 45. A first down for the offense. Wants to go up top on first down. Oh, they're after him. Just couldn't find an open man. He'll get rid of it, and it'll be second down.
Good decision by the QB. You're outside the pocket. You're trying to find an open target. No one's open. Throw it away and live to play another day.
Rushes on him. He'll try to do it himself. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
He was trying to push it downfield. He was looking for a receiver, trying to make a play. Could tell the pressure started to get to him a little bit. Nowhere to go with the football, and just fights back to the line of scrimmage.
Makes the grab. It's Gibson. They'll finally drag him down, but not before he gets it to the 40, and it's a first down.
I don't always have to push the ball down the field. I love when QBs drop back, look at it matchups. Oh, I got my running back. I think he can get the first down. Give him the football. Let him be an athlete with the football in his hands after he catches it. Nice job by the QB. Nice job by the running back.
Quarterback just flat missed him. Incomplete.
Yeah, and sometimes the coverage is just great. And as a quarterback, you throw the football away or don't try to force it too tight into a window, and you just say, hey, defense won that rep. Good coverage.
Finds his man. It's Williams. Tackled almost immediately. They're well short of the first down.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands. Get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
And that third down pass left a vapor trail, but it's incomplete.
Oof, you got to be careful if you're the quarterback there. Third down, you see a lot of exotic coverages by the defense. That time they played zone, and he tried to force that football into a real tiny window. He's lucky that one wasn't picked off.
It's incomplete. A fourth down stop and the turnover on downs. Motion from the wide receiver. The give is to Taylor. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And if this defense wants to get back in the football game, they've got to match the physicality of this offense. And that's a great start here in the second half. Like coming out, not letting them run the football, being the more physical and more aggressive team.
Slings it downfield. And that was incomplete. We're taking a shot there, but couldn't hook up.
It's nice when a QB can get outside the pocket and break down a defense and take off, but I thought the defense did a really good job of seeing it, understanding where he was going, kind of mirroring him towards the sideline as he rolled out to the right. Didn't give him any space to run the football, covering the pass deep. Really nice defense on that play.
Lots of green grass as he gets it to the 31.
And I love this offensive approach, man. All gas, no brakes. You got the lead, so what? Continue to do what you do. Find those one-on-one situations and continue to stay aggressive.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Quick completion on the out route. Got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown, Boston College! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. He has been surgical. Precision passes, using the scaffold, the fine instrument, rather than the blunt one.
And the defense has had absolutely no answer for him. Just, he's been down their throats all game long, a step ahead, understanding what he's seeing, and just destroying this defense.
So the kickoff team will come out after they turn in a score on that last drive. On the run from inside his 25. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Looking to throw on first down. Quarterback needs to make a better throw there. Incomplete.
Well, a nice job by the defense. They're playing with a big lead. They know the offense has to throw it, and they're inviting throws over the middle of the field, knowing they can break on these passes and maybe pick one off. Offense lucky that wasn't a turnover.
Throws for the tight end. And the timing just a hair off.
I'll tell you what, you could tell the defense knew exactly what they were doing. They were dialed in, took away the primary target. And then it's on you as an offense. Now I got to adjust. I got to do something different to what they're doing.
On third and long, try to convert through the air. Oh, that slithered right through his fingers and would have been his second interception of the game. Instead, it's fourth down.
And you got to expect this offense to go for it again here on fourth down, right? Obviously trailing, we're in the second half, but we saw them try to go for it on fourth down early. Didn't have any success. They've got to dial up a better play here.
On fourth down, looking for the completion. Drop the football. Started. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Ready to fire from the pistol. They'll leave it with him. Into a mass of giant bodies. We'll call it a 1-yard gain to the 24. These two rivals first played in 1893, but there was nearly a half-century, guys, when they didn't play each other because they got in a fight over, among other things, gate receipts.
Yeah, listen, I've been lucky enough to broadcast this game before, and I'll never forget being at Bryant-Denny Stadium and just feeling the energy. It was just completely different versus anything I'd ever seen in college football before. David, there's a different meaning to this game for both of these schools in the state of Alabama.
Yeah, and it's just different because I think being in the state, like fans are around each other all year long. Players are around each other all year long. You know, the Iron Bowl is a civil war of hate between each other all year long, and they get to settle it on a big stage every year.
And listen, the defense knew coming into this one, they were going to target him early and often. He is a weapon, and there's no mystery where the quarterback's going to be looking on critical down and distances. Let's see how they're able to cover him throughout the rest of this game.
And he's able to find a little bit of running room before they get him down.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on first down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
From the gun, running back gets the give. Hauled down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
And on second down, a lot of times, I don't know why, you just, as a defense, you go pass. You think passing situations, passing downs. Really good job by the offense, committing to the run game, not abandoning it, not getting yourself in a third down situation where you had to throw the football.
Might as well give it to him again. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one, 2nd and 8 coming up.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They'll get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Grab near the sticks. It's Williams. Now the connection takes it to the 11. Curl route seems simple, but when you time it like that so it's right on him, man, that's a tough play to stop.
And give the receiver a lot of credit, too, because he knew where the sticks were. He got his depth on the route, and then he came back to the football. All young receivers can learn from this guy right here. Come back to the ball and help your quarterback out.
Man, it's easy to call plays when you're getting 5 or 6 yards a pop on the ground. Like, why would I get complicated? Why would I get complex? Like, up front right now, this group just win, fall forward, get that good game, stay ahead of the sticks, don't have to get in bad situations. This defense better respond, or else I'll do that all the way down the field.
And he got nothing, and the line of scrimmage is still the 5-yard line. Here and take a shot at it on 1st and goal. Looking to throw on 3rd. He makes a grab. And boy, is he close to that 1st down, maybe just a couple of inches short. They were really hopeful he could make a guy or two miss and pick up the 1st down, but he comes up a little short.
Yeah.
Scores on the sneak.
They did a really good job of setting the tone and stringing that drive together. It was a long drive. They needed to convert some specific spots. They did it, and here's how they ended it, with physicality. Punching him in the mouth, opening this game with a statement, and they got the early lead.
And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. So it's a 77-yard touchdown drive. It was finished off with the quarterback sneak. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. He's got great speed. Oh, what vision. He's going to get loose. He'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Tiger. He is a field-flipping machine. Take it on one end, return it to the other.
And now you get to celebrate. What a beautiful job. We always talk about defense, we always talk about offense, but man, when your special teams come through for you and score, it is huge, and it provides such a boost for the crowd.
They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. They'll put this one in play, first snap of the drive from the 25. Here's the handoff. And after the stop, that is going to put a bow on this first quarter. So 2nd down here as we're back at it after the break. Back to pass. Under fire. And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19. The Tigers bringing the heat the way Andre Bruce did back in the day.
And they just find those big, nasty, strong, physical guys that can eat up the line of scrimmage and get after quarterbacks. It's one of the staples of these Auburn teams all throughout the years.
On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
Wow, what a statement you're now making as a defense. 3 sacks in a row. You're making it known that mano-a-mano, these dudes cannot block.
Alabama will bring the punt team on the field. 3 and out and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. So from his own end zone, the punt is away. And you make the stop, and that is exactly what you want out of your punt cover unit. Couldn't ask for better starting field position for this offense. Back to throw, it's Reed. Fires to the wideout. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball. What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? The DBs will back off a bit. Second down, they'll go to the air. This time it's complete. There he goes. And he picks up a first down. That is not a flag on the play. It's just lingerie on the deck after that move. It's now 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. Looking downfield on first down. Fires deep toward the end zone. And they weren't able to make the connection. They were looking for an explosive play.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance to be complete.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up.
A shot toward the end zone. Snagged that ball in the end zone, but couldn't keep the foot inbounds along that left sideline. It's incomplete.
Once you start to get down here towards the goal line, it's so much more difficult to throw the football. You really want to stretch the defense sideline to sideline and use your speed and take advantage of the grass when you see it. They try to take a little bit of a shot down the field unsuccessfully. Nice job by this defense.
So they'll send out the field goal unit. Didn't make him sweat at all. It's good. And with that, they've taken the lead.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
After that last field goal drive, they're set to kick it away. And he makes the fair catch deep in his own territory, and he might have a question or two to answer about that decision. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. They'll crank up this drive with the pass. He's got an open man. Oh, a lot of space. Running inside the 20. Slippery slide, find his way and ran away from the crowd into the end zone. Touchdown, Crimson Tide.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, he hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
And he knocks the extra point through the uprights. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. Let's see what he can get done from inside his own 15. And the return man showing great vision to be able to find some space and put his team in much better field position. They'll start this drive 60 yards in front of them from their own 40. Back to throw, it's Reed. Caught over the middle, it's Hudson. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
love offenses and quarterbacks that are willing to take the easy stuff. Take those easy throws that are guaranteed to get positive yards. Yeah, I'm going to take big shots down the field too, but don't forget, it's easier to pick up 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5 than it is when we start getting those long yardage situations.
Offense threatening at the 45-yard line on 1st and 10. To the air on 1st down. Sends it downfield. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
Well, on defense, they know that this offense is going to try and take shots. They're going to try and keep their secondary players in a position to make these types of plays. Good job on the back end forcing that incompletion.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit.
Well, they're trying to get the big fella the football in the passing game, but they haven't been able to do that yet. He is a really nice target with his size and his athleticism, but him and the QB, they just don't seem to be on the same page right now.
On 3rd down, going up top. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. All the way down to the 25-yard line. They move the sticks. It's 1st down. The Tigers come to the line with a new set of downs. Trying to turn the corner on the left. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Offense trying to go pitch and trying to get to the outside, but how about the speed on defense, scraping down the line of scrimmage, rallying to the football and creating a negative play.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. To the air, it's Reed. Throws to the wideout. Makes the grab. Gets out of bounds after the big game, but they've got it 1st and goal.
And you see so many smart wide receivers, so many smart tight ends nowadays that they know where the holes in those zones are, and they work with their quarterback.
And he takes it in for a score. Touchdown, Tigers.
And that touchdown run is just going to galvanize this entire football team. Really nice job being physical, and that sends a message. We're not just taking the lead. There's a lot of football left, and we are going to keep trying to run this ball down your throat.
And the extra point puts them up by a field goal. So that's a 60-yard touchdown drive. And finish the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll start the return inside his 5. And he'll be brought down after a solid effort on that return. Let's see what they have dialed up as this drive starts from the 29-yard line. They'll start this drive going to the air. Catch in the middle. It's Robinson. And the explosive play, and they're on the move all the way to the 44. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the 1st half. Now they'll line it up from the 44 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. Pulls it in. It's Gibson. He works his way inside the 30 down to the 29 and picks up a 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw on 1st down. It's complete to the left. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Great job by the quarterback thrown against zone coverage. You cannot telegraph where you're throwing the football. You cannot eyeball wide receivers. So great job by the quarterback using his eyes, not staring down his guy, and then throwing him open.
Clock still running, almost certainly the last play of the half. Into the end zone. Touchdown time. Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board.
And That's a great job by this offense. That's how you work the clock. You want to take as much as you can and punch that ball in the end zone. Masterful clock management, and they now take the lead going into the half.
And you just got to wonder, too, David, how does that affect the confidence of a defense, right? They needed to find some way, somehow, to get a stop, limit the damage on that final drive. They give up a touchdown. They're going into halftime now, trailing. They've got to raise their level of play in the second half.
From inside the 15, here's the return. They make the stop, and that is the end of the first half. Alabama ready to put a boot to it to start the second half. From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. They'll snap the ball. First play of the drive coming from their own 24. To the air, it's Reed. He's going for it all. And they can't make the connection, going for a big play on first down.
Got to give this defense credit, man. They've been so good in the back end in coverage. They basically gave nothing away in the first half. And here they are in the second half defending a deep ball.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. Wide open downfield. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with the first down.
You know, sometimes when you're throwing against zone coverage, you need time for the routes to develop. So nice job by the quarterback there, being patient, allowing his receivers to work themselves open.
Wants to go up top on first down. Finds his man. It's Burks. Shoved out of bounds after a big gain. They'll mark it at the plus 42. That big pickup on what they call the drag route, but if you hit it on time, you can hit the turbo boosters.
And you've got to be accurate on the throw, too, Reese. Nice job by the QB there, putting it out in front of his receiver to make an easy catch and then advance it.
What a play there, and he rips off a big one all the way to the 16-yard line.
And this defense is going to have their hands full because they're going to need to be comfortable with guys one-on-one on islands in the perimeter of the field, and they're just going to have to make better plays than what we saw right there. They knew this offense was going to try to be aggressive. Got to need better effort in the back end for this defense.
Stopped at the 13-yard line as they try to turn this into points. Going to work on second down in the red zone. Is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. To the ground with the back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Boy, there wasn't much room to wiggle for that running back there.
None at all. Great job by the defense getting in the backfield quickly, closing up all the holes, nowhere to run.
Grab near the marker, it's Williams. He stopped just short of the goal line, but they'll have it first and goal from the 1. The Tigers, once backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, have put quite a drive together. He'll do it himself on the draw. The draw draws nothing except a swarm of tacklers. He's stopped immediately.
And on that situation on the 1-yard line, the defense brings so many guys. Palmer gets in the backfield, creates a negative play.
Yeah, I think we're seeing the overall...
Touchdown, Tigers! And that one will give them the lead. Follow the blockers. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
And the extra point was good to finish things off. They're set to kick it off. Do you think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. A lot of work to do as this drive will start from the 16-yard line. Looking to throw on first down. Under fire. Floating away. They wrap him up. He tried to get back to the line of scrimmage, but he's stopped in the backfield. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Looking to fire. Throws to the tight end. Got his man downfield. Across the 35, out of bounds at the 36, and a really good pickup as they're starting to move. The transition of Alabama quarterbacks over the years has been fascinating, from the dreaded game manager label to playmaker.
To playmaker, to spread it out, to Heisman winner. I mean, that's how much this offense has changed and evolved, and they're going to be aggressive, and they're going to score points in this new age era.
Well, that one falls incomplete. That hasn't happened a whole lot today, though. This dude has been lighting this defense up with his speed. He showed great hands. They just weren't able to come down with that one.
Right back to the air on 2nd and 10. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this guy's been beat like a drum. He's been hit, sacked a bunch of times already, and another hit right here. I'm literally looking at my offensive line and being, dude, I need some more time. You got to protect me better than this. Give me a chance to complete some passes.
Working that left side. That'll get the job done and move the chains, and they'll mark the ball at the 45. This dude is just exceptional in every facet. So fluid, such a great route runner, and a big play there.
And money down, 3rd down, find him. I mean, you want to find that matchup because he's going to win, and gets a good release, gets down the field. You see that's your playmaker, that's your guy. Get it to him, get the first down.
Looking downfield on first down. Catch in the middle, it's Gibson.
This defense is going to have to be careful. Not only do they have to worry about this guy running the football, but they've got to keep their eye on him when he runs routes, too. He is a versatile back.
Alabama with a multitude of options on 2nd and short. Wants to go up top. Here's the heat. Just too much of a rush, and down goes the quarterback just behind the midfield stripe of the 49. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. So we open the final period with a 3rd down play. On 3rd and long, no secret what he needs here. Bringing the heat. And he feels the heat coming, and it burns him up. Another sack.
And it's been a long day for this offense. If you can't protect your quarterback, it's hard to be successful. That's the 5th sack they have given up. The offensive coordinator has no answers, and this defense has been flying around.
Down a possession here in the 4th, and they'll need to convert on this 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. They got him for the sack, and they'll get the ball back after the 4th down stop.
That's a gutsy call, and I know the analytics world says to go for it more often, but when you're in your own territory and now you turn the football over to the other team, points are so much easier to get. Obviously, I know, Jesse, it didn't take a color commentator to figure that out.
The give as they work on that clock. Able to pick up a couple down to the 27.
And every coach in America has a plan for this situation. The first 4 minutes of the game, the last 4 minutes of the game. How I'm going to construct my offense. Most of the time, I got to be physical. Run the football like right here. Run that clock. Get a few first downs, and I can end this football game on offense.
And that pass will be jarred loose on second down. That brings up third down. We'll see if the offense can move the chains after that incompletion. Back to pass, it's Reed. Unloads to the wideout. And it's picked off. That's the turnover they desperately needed.
Let's go. Talk about leaving the door open. Yes, please. You think they might run the clock out, run the football consistently? No, sir. They put it in the air. We forced the interception. Great job by the defense. When they needed it the most, they came through.
Their own end zone nipping at their heels as they start this drive from their own 2. From his end zone, he'll have to get rid of it. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
And this is going to fall on the quarterback's shoulders here in the fourth quarter. You're trailing. It's a close game. You are going to have to complete some balls. You're going to have to make some big-time throws in small windows under duress if you're going to bring your team back and will them to victory. Incomplete there, obviously, but expect them to continue to throw it. This quarterback.
He's loose. Oh, he's getting ahead of steam. The 40. Inside the 30. Inside the touchdown, Alabama! They move on top here in the fourth.
Yeah, and a nice job in the fourth quarter making plays, and a nice job being on the same page. QB, receiver. You could tell he broke with the football. He caught it in stride, gets into the end zone. Nice pitch and catch right there. Nice chemistry by the QB and wide receiver.
And the extra point is good, and every point counts. It's now a 4-point lead in the fourth. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. Here's the return from inside his 10. He only needs a sliver of daylight. He just about popped that one for a long one, but as it is, he gives his team a lot of momentum with a solid return. They'll get this drive started from their own 45-yard line. Looking for a man, it's Reed. Quarterback extends the play. Grabbed in the middle, it's Sherrod. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
They're just trying to sneak the back out to the right side there, but great job tackling on defense against the guy who's hard to bring down once he has the ball in his hand.
Wants to fire on second down. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
And the Tigers come to the line on third and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short.
Man, I think back in the day, this is a no-brainer. You're punting the football and believing your defense, but analytics all the time now telling you to be aggressive. I'm interested to watch this play. Obviously, if you're aggressive, you might could run this clock out and end the football game and not have to put your defense back on the field.
It's a one-score game late, and they've got to go for it on fourth down. He'll sneak it. Desperately wanted to keep the ball, but they did not.
Great job by the defense there on fourth down. I'll say this, QB sneaks are not a guaranteed play that you're going to get on offense. Everybody thinks it is. You dial it up, it's an automatic first. Not the case. That time, the defensive line was lower. They got more push, and there was just nowhere for the quarterback to go. Great job by the D.
They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5.
I think one of the hardest things to do is stick to the run when it's not working. But it's those runs right there that are the reason why you have to do it, right? You can't get too one-dimensional. Keep slipping those runs in there. Keep getting a little bit of positive yards. Next thing you know, you look up and you might break one of those after you got them a little bit tired.
I think if you're offense here, the game boils down to this one play on third down with the lead late. If you get the first down, that's ball game. There's not enough time left for the defense to get it back and go.
And he can't get it off. Taken down. What a huge play this late in the game. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. The kick is on its way. And he's going to get it up to about the 29-yard line before he's brought down. They'll get this drive started from the 29. Looking to pass. It's Reed. Gets rid of it. Pulls it in. It's Sherrod. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few.
And this offense, they got another positive game, but I think they're going to have to start pushing the ball down the field a little bit. Got to make some plays. That clock is not your friend. You got to speed up, maybe work the middle of the field a little bit, but make sure we get first downs, and the rest of the time work the sidelines.
Timeout call by the offense. 29 seconds left on the clock.
It's a nice job running the in route there by the receiver, and the best thing he did after he made his break, he didn't trail and fade away. He actually attacked the football. That's a good lesson for young receivers out there, Watt.
Oh, he's going to try to hit him over the top. Almost intercepted, and that might have been the ball game if he had held on. Instead, it's fourth down.
And this offense has been a struggle bus. I mean, just call it like it is, guys. It hasn't been good, especially the passing game. And I'll tell you what, QB's played better games before. And I'm interested to watch. Can he stay positive?
Converts on fourth down. Still going. He's out of bounds. Has enough for the first down, and that conversion keeps hope alive. Got to get everybody lined up quickly. Time winding away, and they've got to push the ball down the field. To the air on first down. He's taking a deep shot late in the game. And he'll pull it in inside the 20. He's showing it all. The juice, the jets, the moves, and he's got it down to the 16-yard line. Here comes Auburn to the line on 1st and 10. They'll throw it from the red zone. He wants it all. He just about put this game away if he'd been able to hold on to that one. Instead, it's second down. They're about to run a dirty half-dozen plays on this drive. Back to throw, and he needs to make a play. Fires to the wideout. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Bringing it back. The 40. At the 30. He's at the 10. Touchdown, Bama! The defense gets it done with that huge interception return.
And the free safety roaming the middle of the field, and you can see just reading the quarterback's eyes. And how about the break on the football, taking a great angle to pick it off and then do some damage and make the big play for this defense to score some points.
You know what's great about rivalry games? Each side hates every wretched breath the other one sucks into their greedy lungs. Figuratively speaking, of course, and when you win, oh, is that sweet.
It's glorious. To be able to brag, to be able to text message your buddies, to be able to post stuff on social media, it's a lot of fun. I think fans like it more than anybody, but it's something that every year you have a couple games start. This was one of them, Jesse. They took care of business, and now you move on to the next.
They really did. We saw some great individual efforts in this game by the winning team, too. So cool to see some of these players that have had terrific collegiate careers make some of the biggest plays of their lives in this game, in a rivalry game that just means so much. This was a fun one to call.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football. And he takes this from inside the 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Looking for room, it's Gibson. Stacked up after gaining a couple to the 23.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Back to pass. Got it in the middle, it's Payne. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
You know, I know it seems like an easy pitch and catch, but for the tight end there, that route potentially changes if it's man coverage. So good job by him knowing it's zone. I'm just going to sit down. This is basically like a check down, right? Let's just take the easy pitch and catch and keep this drive going.
In the gun and looking to throw on 3rd down. They get enough rush, and it pays off the sack at the 20.
Man, you can't draw it up any better than that. First possession, force a 3rd down. You want to shut the home crowd up, sack the quarterback, create some momentum. Now you're getting the football back to your offense, probably with great field position.
This offense has it with really good field position. They'll try the run. Not much room to run. Let's give him 1 to the 33.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. A lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Out of the gun, the running back has it. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talk to the defensive coordinator coming into this game. He knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
It'll be 3rd and long. Back to pass, it's Reed. Caught close to the marker, it's Skinner. He'll come through on 3rd down as he's got enough, and they'll mark it at the 23.
Well, this tight end can run these crossing patterns, and he can catch the ball against man coverage or zone coverage. That time, nice job seeing the ball in, helping his QB out.
The Buffaloes will snap it on 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. Finds his big tight end. Couldn't quite get it into the end zone. He goes out of bounds at the 3, but they are in business.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
And the Buffaloes are threatening on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Buffs!
And the running back was not going to be denied on that play. He had a hole. He saw it. He put his foot in the ground, and that was pay dirt.
They get set for the point after as we have the first score of the game. And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they finish it off with the score from the 4. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He makes the fair catch deep in his own end, and I get the criticism, but man, he probably wanted to at least save a few yards of field position. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Trying to move them on the counter. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Looking to fire. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
That's what I'm talking about. That is how you close. And when a guy's going to make a catch, you make sure he doesn't make it. Physicality, using your pads, running through them. And guess what? Not only this play does he feel it, next time he tries to go over the middle or feels footsteps, this will pay dividends.
He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the first down.
You know, that's one as a quarterback. You've thrown the completion, and you're like, dude, can you just turn around and make one guy miss and go get the first? Or can you just stretch out and get the first down? You need your guys to have a little bit more awareness where they are in the field on that play. And even though they got the completion, it's not enough to pick up the first. And now you're staring fourth down right in the face.
And I like this. I like aggressiveness, especially early in ball games. Set the tone. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to play 4-down football. Nowadays, it makes a lot of sense. You see it with analytics. Go for it, even if it's in your own territory.
It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. On the option. The pitch. A confident, tough, efficient run gets it up to the 44.
This offense is perfectly fine with a little game because they're going to make you tackle this all game long. They're going to make you think all game long. So they'll keep running it ad nauseum and just wait for that one opportunity when you don't do your assignment.
The Crimson Tide can dig into that playbook here on 2nd and short. On the run, it's Gibson. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. So after the break, they'll go back to work. Quarterback on the keeper. And he has a solid gain on the play before sliding.
And you're seeing his dynamic ability to run the football that time on the option play. I know he doesn't pick up the first down, but that's still a good chunk of yardage, and the defense wasn't ready for it. Moving forward, expect the offense to go back to the option play again and see if someone will finally take the quarterback and force him to pitch it.
He lofts it high and deep down the left side. Looking for the goal line. Works his way to the 4-yard line, and they'll have it 1st and goal.
I know this isn't the start the offense wanted. They don't have any points so far in this game, but sometimes it just takes one explosive play to turn things around. And after that beautiful completion deep for the offense, that should give them a little confidence, a little momentum. They've now got us to be able to score points on this drive.
They'll keep it on the ground for 1st and goal. And he is stopped, not getting close to the end zone. Line of scrimmage still at the 3.
Man, nowhere to run on that play at all.
About all you can say is do better. That's the problem. Are they able to do better?
And that's why you keep trying things, right? Keep trying to get on the perimeter, run it up the middle, try different things to see what you do well.
Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? Wants to go up top. Looking for the score. Oh, what a play. It's intercepted. He's at the 50. Inside the 30. He's at the 10. And with the interception, he'll take it all the way back. Touchdown, Buffaloes!
Dude, you're just thinking hold him to 3, make him kick a field goal, don't let him score points. Heck no, you turn it into offense. What a play. Catches the ball in the end zone. Take a knee. Take a knee. No, sir. I'm taking this thing all the way back 100 yards to the house. What a play.
And the extra point makes it 14-0. Kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. He calls for the fair catch and makes it deep in his own end, and he might have been better off seeing if that ball would just trickle into the end zone. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. They'll start this drive going to the air. Snagged in the middle. It's Robinson. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with a first down.
That's a really nice job plucking that pass. I don't know if another school has done as good a job as Alabama in recent years as bringing in top-level talent at the wide receiver position. When you think of guys like Julio Jones, Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, this guy, he looks like he could be on the field with all those guys, too. He's got speed. He's got the ability to pluck the football out of the air. What a big-time weapon. How nice is it to play quarterback with this guy on your offense?
So now it's 2nd and long. Couldn't connect on first down. Now back to the air. Pressure coming. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with... started with the opening kickoff. From inside the 15, here comes the return. Finally stopped after a solid return out to the 32. Offense in a bunch formation. Wants to throw on first down. Got a man. It's Udo.
The quick passing game does several things. One, it doesn't let the pass rush get you. There's great defensive line, and the ball's coming out so fast they can't get there. And then what else? It gets me ahead of the sticks. I don't have to worry about getting in long yardage and predictable situations.
Alabama with a multitude of options on second and short. From the gun to give, looking for room. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down. A cornerstone of the Alabama program really throughout history has been be physical, establish a running game.
Yeah, great running backs. I mean, not only are you recruiting great players in the offensive line and skill and all over the place, but so many great backs that you can name off the top of your head that played at Alabama, that ran it with an edge, that ran it physical, that always represented that style. And you can see Alabama, they're always going to do this. They're going to establish the run.
Grab near the marker. It's Sullivan. Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wants to go up top on first down. Working that wide receiver screen. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about. A solid gain on that one, and it goes for naught as the penalty will back them up. This Alabama offense is clicking. They're set up with another first down. Looking to throw. Fires to the right. Got him downfield. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Crimson Tide.
Man, this guy is an elite tight end. This guy is a dude. He keeps making plays like this. We're going to start comparing him to Brock Bowers and Kyle Pitts. The run after the catch, the big body, the athletic ability. He has it all.
Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And the PAT makes it 7-0. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they finished it with an explosive play in the passing game, scoring from 47 yards out. From inside his own 10, he'll try to help out their field position. And he's able to pick his way through the traffic nicely for a good return on that one before he's brought down. The back. Stopped after a pickup of 4. Good run to get it out to the 34.
That's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
He sends 3 receivers right, maybe looking for man coverage on the left on 2nd and 5. Scanning the field, it's Morton. Grabbed over the middle, it's Howard. They'll get him at the 45, but he got 10 on that one.
Well, your opponent scored on their opening drive, so obviously no need to panic. But I know, having been in this situation as a quarterback, you want to answer right away. So really good to see him making some nice throws here on their opening drive. He's going to try and see if he can get this thing tied up.
First down, you know you always want to establish the running game. How about this offense? Nothing fancy. Run the football, be physical, get a big gain.
Motion from the wideout. Looking to throw on first down. Unloads it downfield. Picked off to stop the threat. Got some room to run. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but the great return to give the offense tremendous field position.
Not all DBs make the play at the end, right? They can bat the ball down, they can be in position, but they don't really secure the football. Great job by the DB securing the football and forcing the turnover.
Looking downfield on first down. Rush coming in hot, and they got him at the 29.
I love the defensive effort there. They didn't get him right away. They stayed after him. He was scrambling, going backwards. They get the sack on the first play of the drive.
The Crimson Tide just hoping at least to get some of the yardage back here on second down. A strike downfield. Found a seam on the left. Lots of running room. Touchdown Tide. He broke away from the defense and they couldn't catch him. When that receiver got free, it was all over.
And it's so nice to have a receiver like this as a quarterback because you pad my stats. I like those long touchdown passes where I just threw it really short and he did the rest of the work.
Getting set for the point after. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. This offense prides itself on going after you, and they did with that long touchdown pass to finish off a two-play drive. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. Finds just enough space to cross the 25. Let's mark it at the 27-yard line. This drive will start at their own 27-yard line. Defense in press coverage. Got it in the middle. It's Claiborne. Nice gain on that play, but a little bit short of the first down.
Early in the game, I love getting my quarterback in a rhythm. Easy pitch and catch. He's thrown them 4,000 times. Not big shots, but just put you in nice positions on the next downs coming up.
To throw, it's Morton. Caught over the middle, it's Howard. And he gets it to the 45-yard line, and that'll be a first down. They've got a first down here to open the period. To the air on first down. Here comes the heat. He stopped at the 45 after picking up 10 yards and the first down.
And I love the change in decision-making, right? That was a much better job. Last possession, tried to force it in there, threw the interception. This possession, it's not there. Take off and scramble. Great job. You got enough athletic ability to do that. Big third down conversion by this offense.
Three wideouts to the right on 2nd and 8. Back to pass. Looking to buy time. The throw. Just a bit of a misfire there as they can't make the connection.
There's a lot of QBs that when they get hit and when they get hurried and when they get pressured, they become very average. Really nice job by the defense pressuring the quarterback.
After the second down misfire, looking at a 3rd and 8. Off the play fake. Quarterback strolling away from heat. Trying to make magic on the scramble. He'll be stopped about 2 yards short of a first down.
This is why 3rd down is so difficult for quarterbacks, because the defense substitutes. They put faster guys on the field, and they've got all of their different exotic looks they've been game planning all week for, some things you haven't seen on film yet, and it confuses your offensive line. It confuses you, and you're out here just trying to make plays, trying to do something right.
Makes the grab plenty for the first down. He's finally stopped and brought down at the 15.
Well, you got to give this quarterback a ton of credit because he showed tremendous confidence on that throw. That wasn't just trying to throw to the sticks. That was being aggressive and throwing it down the field. Not a high percentage throw, but he had confidence in his guy to win one-on-one, and they keep the drive alive.
Throw to the end zone, picked off. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover.
When you get in the red area, as a quarterback, you got to be dialed in. You got to be really sharp, really crisp. You have to play with great timing. The field is so shrunk. Everybody's got such a little area to cover. Fitting it in tight windows is tough to do, and he failed on that play right there.
Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Looking to throw on first down. Right down the middle. Complete to the right. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Wants to throw on first down. Finds a tight end. Still on his feet at the 45. He's loose on the right. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a first down.
You got to love the rhythm this quarterback is in here on this drive, guys. 2 completions. He's seeing the safety rotation that time. Saw the one-on-one matchup he wanted. Took his shot. He is in a groove.
That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Looking to fire. They'll run the screen. He'll get it all the way down to the 8-yard line, and the defense is feeling the heat.
Well, this offense told us coming in they were going to challenge this secondary early and often. They were going to use their speed to their advantage and take advantage of this quarterback's touch and arm talent. And already in the second quarter, they've got over 200 yards thrown.
Touchdown, Alabama! They get it into the end zone to pay off that opportunity.
They have been road warriors here in this game, coming into a tough environment, but in all 3 phases, they have been absolutely dominant. Their defense has not allowed a point.
time inside the 10. Here he comes. And he did a good job bobbing and weaving and finding a little bit of running room on that return. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Williams.
Well, the short passing game is a great go-to for any offensive coordinator in the first quarter because it's reliable, but it also allows you to see how the defense is going to react and play. So this can certainly open things up later on.
The Crimson Tide can dig into that playbook here on 2nd and short. The give to the back. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
Really good-looking run. You know, you think about the legacy Alabama has at the running back position. It's ridiculous. Mark Ingram won a Heisman, obviously Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs. I'm going to go back to Sean Alexander, who I played against back in the day, too. All these guys had speed. All these guys had vision and quickness. And this guy right here, he has all of those traits himself.
Grabs it at the 25 in stride. Finally corralled, but not before. He picked up the first down.
And that is a big-time play for the offense. The defense knew coming into this game they had to keep this guy bottled up and keep him in the pocket. That didn't happen there. He was able to buy time, extend the play. Receivers are in scramble drill mode. He finds a guy, he's accurate, off schedule, and the defense now has to do a much better job keeping this guy contained, or they are going to get lit up just like that.
Second down, he'll throw it. Here's the pressure. And the defense got him at the 27.
And the first drive, man, both teams, they want to set the tone for the football game. The offense drove the ball down the field with some good success, but where it matters most, when you start to get in this area, the defense finds a way on second down to get the big sack. Big third down coming on this first drive.
And that's a play the defense absolutely had to have. This game right now is sort of still in the balance. And after a long drive by the offense on third down, the defense able to make a play, get a hit on the target, and knock it loose for an incompletion. And now it's decision time if you're on offense. What do you do here on fourth?
On fourth down, they're taking to the air. Catch in the middle, it's Sullivan. He's not going to get there. Stop short on fourth down.
Coaches talk about it all the time. We're going to be aggressive. Well, they're aggressive on that first drive. They go for it on fourth down. No dice. Now you put your defense on the field. I like the aggressiveness, but now you got to deal with some of the consequences.
Wants to throw. It's Pavia. Can't make the grab. Quarterback just missed him a little bit.
I don't know if the quarterback read the coverage properly on that one, but obviously the result is an incompletion.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Wants to go up top. Catch in the middle, it's Smith. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37.
The hardest thing to do in college football is tackling the open field. These guys are so fast, so elusive. You just want to get them on the ground. You see the swing and the miss there. It leads to extra yards. So hard for a defense to get those guys on the ground.
Quickly to the tight end. And how about the efficiency on that one? It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
Nice quick throw there. And it's so important for quarterbacks to be able to find a rhythm and to be comfortable and confident. You want to just get the ball out quickly, make it an accurate and easy throw. And you can tell that these two guys, they rep that play in practice all the time, and it's now showing up here on game day.
Just too much heat that time, and they knock him down at the 31.
Really nice play. When you talk about Alabama and their dominance on defense, especially in recent years, it all starts up front. You have to have disruptors playing on the defensive line, guys that can be versatile and line up at different positions, but create havoc in the backfield. And that's what this guy has been able to do throughout his career.
Fires to the tight end. He gets it up to the 37-yard line, and let's see if they're willing to gamble on fourth down.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on third down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You've set up fourth and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
On fourth down, they'll try to throw it. Looking to take a shot. And the incomplete pass lets this defense get the ball back for its own great field position.
And first half being that aggressive on your side of the field, that's a different world. Like, you live in the analytics world, and I know people say go for it more often. I don't see the point in going for it on that one early in the game in that situation.
Wants to go up top on first down. Using his legs to buy some time. He's run out of bounds, and they'll say he stepped out at the 27.
And I think this is important for this defense. This will be a big key in the football game. Like, I got to limit the damage from that guy, because that's a QB that's dynamic, and he can make so many big plays. I got to string him out. I got to make him get to the sideline. But I will say this. I do want to hit him at the end of the run. I don't want to let him out of bounds and let him get free carries. I want it to be physical. And listen, the offensive line has to do their job, but a really good job by the running back, understanding where his hole is. Go hit it, get the first down, don't mess around. Nice job following his hole, getting positive yards.
Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. Pocket breaking down. They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20. Had a chance to talk it over during the break, and they'll start with second down. Back to pass. Oh, they're after him. And the pressure is coming in, and they get him again.
Man, there are defensive players out there that can just take games over, and that's what's happening with this guy right now. He is not cooperating with the offensive game plan. A sack on 2 consecutive plays, and now on third down, you know he's pinning his ears back again.
He's got it. They stop him short of the sticks, and it'll be fourth down.
I mean, the great news is you just came up with a huge completion on third down, but the bad news is you're still miles away from picking up this first because of how poor you were first and second down. Moving forward in this game, the offense has got to do a better job early in the drive to at least give them a chance to have some success.
It's good. Easy call for the ref. And the first points of the day come on that field goal.
And listen, y'all know in the booth and everywhere how I feel about kickers. Don't always love leaving it on their foot, so to speak, but nice job executing. He keeps doing stuff like that. I'll keep trotting him out there.
He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. Probably needed to pick up an extra block or 2, but as it is, he'll be stopped at the 28. Christen this drive from the 28-yard line. Looking downfield, it's Pavia. Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. On the run, and he'll slide to avoid the big hit.
You know, QBs want to make those big plays. They want to put up the big stats. But when nothing's there, sometimes you just tuck the ball, get a minimal gain. I like the slide, by the way, too. Get down and don't take a big hit.
Rush is on him. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up.
Hey, on offense, you got to know when the play's over. That one there, nowhere to go with it after he caught the football. You start trying to juke guys. You start trying to run backward. This ain't high school anymore. I mean, you used to be able to make that play years ago. You're not doing it here in big-time college football, though. Not good.
Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. He tries to take the top off. He's got it inside the 30. And they'll do more than move the chains. They'll move that thing more than 30 yards down the field before he's finally stopped. The Buffaloes have it with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. Makes the grab. And the Buffaloes in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Leaves it with the back. And we've been waiting to see the spin move, and so too had the defense. They were ready for it. And the Buffaloes come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep this drive moving. Wide open spaces. He rumbles and rolls all the way to the 4-yard line before he steps out of bounds.
Man, this defense has to be better. You have to stop the first part of the option, and that is the quarterback. And he gets loose. He gets the 1st down, another set of downs. They need to figure out this plan and how to stop this quarterback.
Caught in the backfield, it's Henderson. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Colorado!
And in that goal line situation, awesome job by the tight end, winning his one-on-one battle, making an easy target for his QB.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point makes it 7-3. They took it 71 yards down the field, and they capped the drive with a 4-yard touchdown pass. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. They take over late and they have enough time to put together a drive. Complete to start this drive. Oh, he's got some space. And they're getting it rolling with that play to the 42-yard line.
And what a massive play for the offense. Not only getting the football across the 50, but they've now put themselves in position to steal a few more points here before the half.
Not the most productive half for this offense so far, but finally starting to get it in gear. 1st and 10. Under fire. Man, did he pay for it with that hit as he got rid of the ball.
And this is why this team is losing this game. They cannot protect their quarterback. He's already been sacked a bunch of times. Almost got sacked right there. This guy doesn't have a chance with the way this offensive line is playing.
Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock it down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, a check down would be the last resort. The sure hands, it's Williams. He cannot get there. It'll be 4th down. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. The offense failed to convert on 4th down earlier, but that didn't change their thinking here. Throws to the wideout. Can't make the connection, and the defense gets a 4th down stop.
Well, great defense on that one. They were ready for pass. They forced the incompletion. They're coming off the field. That's a big win for this defense.
So the first play of the drive, starting here from the 45. A quick pass to the left. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, give the defense credit on that one because they knew coming into this one that they were going to try to get this receiver the ball in a variety of ways. They were ready for the screen there, and they create a negative play.
Corners are going to bail. Dropping back, it's Pavia. Starting to feel a little pressure. He's open on the right. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Looking downfield on first down. The pass is incomplete, and there are 2 ticks remaining on the clock.
Unfortunate with that incompletion. The quarterback and his intended target not on the same page.
They'll have just enough time to get 1 more snap before the half. After the incompletion, they go back up top. Quarterback now on the run, still looking. Pass is incomplete, and that's going to do it for the first half. Ready to start the second half. Alabama will kick it off. From inside his own 10, let's see what he gets. And the return man showing great vision to be able to find some space and put his team in much better field position. First play of this drive will start from the 31-yard line. Wide receiver going in motion. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. The sweet feet buy a little time. Crosses the 45. They finally corral him, but he turns that into a big gain and a first down.
This is why everybody grows up and wants to be an offensive coordinator and not a defensive coordinator, because he can do that. He drops back. He's supposed to pass, but you know what? I'll just scramble around, and I'll just go get plenty of yards and pick them up and put them down. And I'm faster than most of your other guys, too, so good luck stopping.
Well, he did a good job getting to the middle of the field. That's where the offense wanted to attack on that play. He's just got to do a better job looking that football in.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. To the air, it's Pavia. Going downfield for the big play. He almost had the pick, and that could have given them a boost. Instead, it'll be third down. Boy, guys, they got off to a great start with that big first play on this drive, but now a couple of incompletions leaves them in a hole. On third down, he drops the throw. Connection to the right. Really nice job to convert that third down, and they've got it at the 33.
And it's on third downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
He turns this into a nice gain and gets down to avoid the hit.
You just can't say enough about this quarterback and how important his legs are to their success for this season, for this game, and really for this drive. Earlier, when he called his own number, it was a big gain. He does it again. He's got the knack for just understanding when to throw it, when to take off and run. You saw it right there.
Throws to the back. That, friends, is a busted play. Incomplete.
Another incompletion, and I've said that a lot, and these teams are just struggling. I mean, the offense just doesn't know what to do. Nothing's working. Ground game, throw game. It's kind of been a rock fight on both sides.
Tight end now in motion. They'll go to work in the air on second down. Moving, keeping the eyes downfield. He'll get rid of it. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, nice job by the defense here in back-to-back plays. 2 straight incompletions. You've given up some yards, and the opponent's in field goal range. This is a place a lot of D coordinators like to send the blitz, because if you sack the quarterback and create a negative play, you knock them out of field goal range.
From the gun, he leaves it with the back. Absolutely nowhere to go as his defense makes a third down stop.
All right, on offense, you're trying to catch them napping on 3rd and long. You try to run the football, but good job by the defense not being fooled and giving themselves an opportunity now to get the ball back.
Yeah, and you got to do a better job not getting in 3rd and long. Offense has to be better on 1st and 2nd down, so you're not forced in these 4th down situations where now you're in limbo of what you want to do. And sometimes I just feel like 4th down, man, just go for it every time. Like the field goal miss, make rate. And listen, kickers have improved the last couple of years, but you left some points off the scoreboard there.
A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. They're going to throw it to start the drive. Unleashes one. Just too much mustard on that one. Can't miss the target that badly.
It's just not the type of game this guy envisioned. Being in the second half, being less than 50% completions, he has not found any success throwing it. A lot of that you got to give to the defense. They've been in the right...
There he goes! Turning it on! They'll make the stop, but not before they use the screen beautifully and pick up the 1st down.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at them. It'll be a 1st down from the 49-yard line. To the air on 1st down. Under fire. Nowhere to go with the ball, and down he goes at the 39.
And there's no mystery as to why this team's losing today. They've given up 5 sacks. They cannot keep their quarterback upright. And you just saw another example of it right there. He has never been able to get into rhythm throwing the football.
Buying some time. Intercepted, and the defense has set him up.
How do you not get excited and out of your seat when you see the big boys making the little boys play? Listen, I know you DBs can do all that running around stuff and catch the football. I can too. I just do it in a sexier, bigger body. Yes, please.
Colorado has the ball back, and the Buffaloes hoping to put their team in prime position on offense. The sledding has been tough. Scores have been... And the ball's loose in the backfield. Defense scoops it up, and he's headed the other way. Oh, look out on the right. At the 20. Touchdown, Bama! The defense takes matters into its own hands.
You practice these moments as a defense, but you never know when they're going to come to fruition. But how about it? The scoop, the ball's on the turf. They scoop it up. They take it to the house. The defense takes care of business and said, offense, we don't need you. We'll put points on the board.